Okay, let's unpack this. We sometimes think of exploration as, planting a flag on some remote mountain.
Right. Totally untouched wilderness.
But maybe true exploration, real grit, is about finding something amazing, something undocumented right under everyone's noses, even when the guidebooks say, nope, nothing here.
And that's exactly what we're diving into today, isn't it? This story about a surf exploration project on Jeju Island, South Korea.
Uh-huh. An island tons of people visit every year.
But this group went looking for waves no one had documented, based purely on theory. That's quite a gamble.
So the source material for this deep dive comes primarily from a new book. It's called surfEXPLORE, Discovering New Surfing Locations Worldwide.
Ah, yes.
Mhm.
Compiled by John Seton Callahan and the surfEXPLORE Group. It's published by Schiffer Publishing.
And it details this Jeju mission among, well, many others. It really captures that mix of, hard science and just sheer persistence.
And if you want to read the whole thing, the book's out there. You can find it on Amazon, Barnes& Noble, W.H. Smith, Kinokuniya,
Yeah,
lots of places.
definitely worth checking out for the full picture. But for today, let's focus on Jeju. So the core challenge was huge.
Right. The team, led by Emiliano and the narrator from the book, they had zero photos. No film, nothing showing actual surf on Jeju.
Nothing. They were betting everything on maps and weather chart. They figured, okay, Jeju's in the East Sea. It should get swell from Pacific typhoons. Geographically, meteorologically, it made sense.
But it's a huge leap of faith, isn't it? Especially when you consider Jeju isn't some deserted island. The book mentions over 1 million visitors a year, mostly from South Korea or China.
You'd think that means easy travel, right? Hotels, transport, all sorted.
Well, yeah, for the usual tourists on package deals, but for this kind of independent, flexible exploration team, that volume of tourism actually made things trickier, a real logistical curveball.
And things started badly, didn't they? Immediately.
Oh, yeah. They land in Seoul, hop over to Jeju, and fly straight into a massive rainstorm, just pouring down.
So step one wasn't even finding waves, it was finding shelter. They head to Yumon, the main beach town.
And the first place they duck into, a 5-star international hotel right near the beach.
Okay, wait. 5-star hotel on a gritty surf exploration budget. Seems a bit off strategy.
Well, desperate times, right? They needed to get dry, figure out the next move, but it immediately highlighted the mismatch.
How so?
They grabbed a quick lunch in the lobby, sandwiches, couple of Cokes. The bill comes. Nearly $40 US.
$40. Okay, yeah, that's your sign. This is not the place you can afford to stay.
Exactly. Instant decision. We cannot stay here. Meanwhile, the poor bell captain keeps trying to check him in, and they're just stalling.
Yeah. So they basically used the lobby for cover, paid the crazy lunch bill, and borrowed the hotel's fancy umbrellas on their way out.
Pretty much. Snuck past the bell captain, who was probably quite annoyed by then.
Yeah.
Classic move.
Borrowed umbrellas in hand, they finally go check the surf, the whole reason they're there.
And it was a total letdown. The main beach at Jungwon. Muddy brown water. Waves maybe 4 to 6 inches high. Just tiny. Lots of debris floating around.
So basically flat. So anyone listening who doesn't surf, 4 inches is nothing. That must have been gut-wrenching. All that planning, the flight, the theory.
Yeah, the first visual check completely failed. Seeds of doubt definitely planted right there. Is this whole thing a bust?
So initial plan A, fighting waves easily, is out. What's plan B?
Plan B becomes navigating the local culture to find somewhere affordable to stay. They spot a Jeju tourism office nearby. Looked kind of empty, but worth a shot.
And they lucked out, finding someone helpful.
Sort of. They found a young Korean woman inside who, luckily, spoke perfect English. California-style English, apparently.
Okay, promising. So they explain, we need simple, cheap, local place to stay.
But it wasn't that easy. The agent makes 8 phone calls. Each one's the no-go. They keep getting rejected.
Oh, why? Was everything booked?
Not exactly. The agent explained the first hurdle. Almost all the Korean, Chinese, or Japanese tourists book everything in advance. Full packages, flight, hotel, food, tours. The whole system isn't really set up for walk-ins looking for basic rooms.
The package tour phenomenon? Okay,
Right.
but there was more to it, right?
Yeah, then she kind of hesitantly reveals the real reason for the rejection. So it wasn't just about being walk-ins. It was because they were Western foreigners.
Really? What was the issue?
The local hosts, the families running these smaller places, were worried. They thought they couldn't provide what Westerners needed. Western food, maybe Western-style beds or furniture, and the big one, a Western toilet.
Wow. So the mission almost gets sunk because of toilet anxiety. That's incredible.
It sounds funny, but it's a real cultural barrier. So the team had to quickly pivot their pitch.
Wow.
They stress, look, we're totally adaptable. We're happy to sleep on futons. We love Korean food. We're here to experience Korea, not expect America.
Make that work.
It totally changed the game. The agent got it.
Yeah.
The next call she made was to a tangerine farmer. Turns out his daughter was actually studying at university in California.
Oh, perfect. That connection probably helped a lot.
Exactly. Eased the farmer's concerns. He said, sure, they can stay. So, problem solved.
And before they left Yongman, the narrator mentions returning those borrowed umbrellas to the five-star hotel. Gave the bell captain a bit of a cheeky smile, apparently.
Got the stink eye back, I bet.
Right.
Justifiably.
Right. So off they go to the tangerine farm, to their new accommodation, which was a minbak. Can you explain what that is?
Yeah, a minbak is a really traditional Korean style of lodging. Basically, a family builds an extra room or a small addition onto their own house for guests. It's kind of like a minshuku, if you've ever been to Japan. Very local, very integrated.
So by choosing a minbak, they were signaling, we're here for the real experience.
Exactly. And they knew they'd landed in the right place almost immediately. After they got their gear settled, surfboards leaning on the porch and all that, the grandmother of the family comes over.
Yeah.
And she just puts this big dish of fresh homemade kimchi right into their refrigerator, like, welcome to the family.
That's fantastic. Can't get much more authentic than that. Okay, so accommodation sorted, and then the rest of the team arrived.
Yep, that evening. Sam Bleakley from the UK, the legendary Randy Rarick from Hawaii, and George Fujisawa from Japan. The full surfEXPLORE crew was assembled.
Now the focus shifts back to the main gamble, the weather, waiting for that typhoon swell.
And this is where we have to emphasize the risk again. They had to time this trip for typhoon season. Why was that so critical?
Well, according to the locals they eventually talked to, and the book confirms this, the waves on Jeju are super inconsistent most of the year, like really fickle.
So gambling on typhoon season was the only realistic shot at getting proper groundswell, the kind you need for good surf.
Pretty much. Peak typhoon season gives you the best odds for those powerful storms tracking the right way and hopefully favorable local winds too. It's high risk, high reward.
While they were waiting for the first storm, they did some crucial recon in Jungwon, right? Talked to locals.
Yeah, they connected with a few Korean surfers, guys who'd actually learned to surf over in Japan, and interestingly, a resident Australian English teacher.
Ah, the expat connection.
Yeah.
Always useful.
Definitely. He'd been living there for 7 years, married to a local woman, knew the place well.
And what did he say? Did he think they were crazy?
No, he actually confirmed their whole strategy. He said basically, yeah, waves are rare, but you're here at the right time. Just gotta wait for the right storm to track up from Japan.
So local validation for their meteorological bet, that must have been reassuring.
Hugely. And right on cue, they check the internet weather charts, and there it is. A new typhoon forming. Forecast track, heading up past Japan, straight towards Jeju.
The waiting game was on. What was the first move?
Smartest move. Book a van and a driver immediately. You need wheels, you need mobility if you're going to chase swells around an island this big.
Makes sense. And the typhoon delivered.
It did. The first swell hit. They surfed Jungmun Beach for 2 days, caught waves on the main beach right, and also a decent left point break nearby. The book says the waves got quite good.
Success. The theory worked. They found surfable waves on Jeju.
Vindicated. But the exploration wasn't over. Just a few days later, guess what?
Another typhoon?
A second one, yeah. And this one looked even stronger on the charts. Promised a bigger swell.
Okay, bigger isn't always better in surfing, right?
Yep.
Especially with typhoon swells.
Exactly. When this second, more powerful swell arrived, Jungmun Beach, the spot that worked just days before, was completely maxed out. Just a chaotic mess of huge, random peaks, totally unsurfable washout.
This is where the exploration part really kicks in, isn't it? You can't just stick to the known spot. You have to adapt.
Totally. They needed somewhere sheltered from the main force of the swell. But crucially, they also needed the wind to be offshore. The prevailing wind was northeast.
Right, offshore wind, that's key. For you listening, offshore wind blows from the land out to sea. It holds the wave face up, makes it smooth and clean, stops it from getting all choppy. They needed that grooming effect.
So, back in the van, they drove to the southwest side of the island looking for a spot that fit the bill. Sheltered, but with offshore northeast winds.
And they checked how many places?
The book says they checked around 20 different reefs and points. 20! Imagine driving around in typhoon weather, peering down cliffs, trying to assess wave quality at spot after spot.
That's serious dedication. Persistence is definitely the word.
But it paid off. Finally, they found this little road led down to a small fishing harbor,
Right.
and just off the harbor entrance, there it was, a beautiful left-hand reef break, peeling perfectly, held up by that offshore northeast wind, looked amazing.
They must have paddled out immediately.
Oh, yeah. And as they're surfing, a crowd of locals gathers on the shore to watch. This is the big moment.
The driver goes over, talks to the locals.
Yep, and confirms it. Based on how amazed the locals looked, apparently completely captivated, the driver tells the team, "You guys, John Seton Callahan and the surfEXPLORE group, you're the very first people ever to surf this wave."
Wow. Documented first ever surf session in a place visited by 1 million people a year. That's true exploration.
Incredible, isn't it? So naturally, they had to name the spot.
Did they call it Typhoon Reef or something dramatic?
Nope. Much more down to earth. They looked around the harbor, clotheslines everywhere, covered in drying squid, thousands of them. Clearly the local industry.
Ah, I see where this is going.
They named it Squid Point, a perfect, grounded name reflecting exactly where they were.
That whole story, it's just a fantastic blend, isn't it? Deep preparation, the meteorology, but then sheer logistical grit. Dodging bell captains, figuring out the minbak, checking 20 reefs.
It really is. So what's the takeaway here for you listening? I think this deep dive really shows that even on a popular tourist island like Jeju, real discovery is still possible.
Yeah, if you're willing to look past the obvious, maybe deal with a few cultural hurdles and rely on good science and a bit of luck.
That million visitors a year didn't stop the surfEXPLORE group from finding these waves. It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It really does. What other places, places we think of as just standard tourist spots, might be hiding undocumented gems, whether it's waves or climbs or something else entirely.
Just waiting for someone with the right timing, the right persistence, and maybe the willingness to embrace that kimchi in the fridge instead of the five-star buffet.
Maybe sometimes the biggest discoveries come not from conquering nature, but just from figuring out how to respectfully fit in with the locals.